all right. So do y'all think like asking for like these athletes or everyday conversations asking for equality? You think that's like a sign of the weak, or we just gotta do our own thing? That's how I feel. Like we gotta concentrate on our community. Like stop, you know, stop.
I agree with what you're saying, and even to speak on top of that, if I'm gonna be completely blunt about how I feel, but as far as how I look at that shit, I mean, at the end of the day, if you getting on your knees and asking for equality, that's some begging shit. They ain't no strength in that at all, not even a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You're literally on your knees saying, "I need give me equality." I feel like if you want to show strength to your so-called oppressor, you're supposed to compete with your oppressor. You're not supposed to ask him for shit, because how he gonna respect you? Imagine you on a basketball court. Imagine you on a basketball court and you playing against a nigga, you 5'9", playing against a nigga that's 6'7". He can dunk, you can. He dog your ass every time. Then you say, "Oh, that's unfair. You need I need equality, so you're not allowed to dunk anymore." Then he'd be like, "Bitch ass nigga, all right, fine." You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga ain't gonna respect you. But then if your ass keep working on your game and that nigga still can dunk, and you bring your 5'9" ass out there and bust his ass, you're gonna garner way more fucking respect than saying, you're no because you're a privileged, your ability to dunk the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see no strength in that shit at all. That's just how I look at it.
I feel that.
I don't think asking for equality is a sign of weakness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily know how we got to the begging on knees, but I don't think
niggas be on their knees. Remember, we watch
I see you
shit all the time. Niggas be on their knees for the games out of protest, speaking for equality, because they want equality. So they're getting on their knees for equality. That's what they're doing.
Calling cap.
Maybe I'll look.
That's exactly what they're doing.
I don't know if I okay. Like that.
Do NBA players are NBA players wearing equality T-shirts? Are they wearing equality T-shirts? Who is that message being sent to?
But so I thought they were wearing Black Lives Matter T-shirts, and then even if they are wearing an equality T-shirt, that doesn't really equate to like being on the knee begging for equality.
Either way, you're still asking. When I say get on your knees, I'm like saying like that's probably the worst aspect of it. But even sitting there wearing a T-shirt, asking for equality, you don't need to ask for equality. You're supposed to take what's yours or take what you want. You're not supposed to ask for shit. But you're not supposed to ask for a goddamn thing. You can do what the fuck you want to do. You a man, just like they are. But you gotta ask them for shit. That don't make no sense to me.
But so asking for equality means like literally like asking for equality as opposed to like being treated like, I mean, like literally asking to be treated like a human. Like, I mean, like if we're talking about like asking to be like, we're not talking about yeah, I don't think asking for equality, because even if you talk about like asking for equality, if I go to my job and I say like, dog, some X, Y, and Z is getting paid a little bit more than me, like I think I should get to pay the same exact amount as X, Y, and Z, like, because we do X, Y, we do the same exact thing. That's not me like begging for their strength or whatever like that. That's me asking for me getting what is rightfully mine. So
what you could do even in that saying, I agree. No, I agree with what you're saying in that instance. If you want to continue to work for these niggas, but if you want actually don't like, if you put yourself in a position where you create your own business, where you ain't got to worry about if a motherfucker paying you equally to the next nigga, you making your own. So that shit wouldn't even matter if you was making your own. That's all I'm saying. Like, obviously, when you're in a position where a motherfucker, when you're dependent on somebody to pay you a certain amount of money, you're going to ask for equality. But when you're independent, you don't need equality. You don't need to be equal to nobody when you fend for yourself.
We do need to be equal. We do need to be seen as equals, for the simple fact of, if we're not seen as equal, and like literally now we can talk about the United States of America. If we're not seen as equal as a United States, as a human being in the United States, if we're not seen as equal and we're seen as our black skin as a weapon, or our skin color as a weapon, like literally, whereas though we're walking to our car with our kids in the car, we're trying to protect our family, and we're shot down, and like literally there might be no consequences that are done because of it, because I am seen as less than I am not seen as equal, that is where the problem is. And that's where we as a people are supposed to be asking for equality. We can't, at some point in time, we have to, I mean, yes, I understand we have to do different things and change our mindset. Whereas though, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't necessarily go into our jobs and ask for like our pay rate to be the same as our coworkers because we're doing the same job. If we can branch off and own our own companies, but in the world, if we're living, we just want to be asked and be literally like living as equal people as our next door neighbor who is a white person. Like if we call the cops and like the white person is fighting with their neighbor and like literally I'm leaving the house now, I feel like I should be able to ask for you to be treated like a fucking human being as opposed to being treated as less than because I'm my fucking skin color. That's I don't think that's like a sign of weakness because I'm asking to be treated as equal.
I know, but even when you say asking, you're like acknowledging that someone is superior to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's my superior. I have to ask them for equality. Like, you can't be like, I would never, like, you can't be above me if I have to ask you for something. Like, if I see you as my equal, I wouldn't have to ask you for shit. For me to ask you for something, I'm acknowledging that you're my superior. If I'm asking you for something, I'm acknowledging that you're my superior. Why? If I'm asking for equality, that means I can only get it through you. I can't do it on my own. I can only do it if you give it to me. That's not independence.
So let me just counter that real with that same context. So if we're talking about we're asking for something and we're equal. So if I'm in a marriage and me and my wife are equal to each other, and I say, baby, can you? I'm asking you, can you can you wash the dishes or can you make me some food? Like, it's not because I'm saying you're superior. I'm saying because we are equal. Like, if I ask you to wash the dishes and I cook the food, it's because we are equal together. We are in the same battle together. I mean, it's not the superior. I'm superior. That's a
partnership. But that's a partnership.
We signed a partnership with the United States. We're in partnership with U.S. citizens.
That's a good point.
But we're speaking from citizenship. We're talking about government to citizens. You're talking about a relationship of two people. We're talking about completely different things.
The government, you talked about earlier, government, celebrities and leaders. Go ahead.
His emphasis is on the relationship.
Right, I don't know what you're talking about right now. I don't know what you're talking about. You say celebrity, you threw me off with the celebrities.
When you said celebrities and leaders, you talked about them being regular people. You talk about them being normal people and everybody else, like them still having to work for, like literally, like I think if I'm not mistaken, your analogy was like celebrities are you know what I'm saying, like basically like they're in this. I mean, the celebrity does something, but at the same time, a regular citizen does something. But the citizen does something, and like the citizen has more influence on the community as opposed to the government. If we're talking about it in the same token, like the same citizen is the same person that's working. A government official is the same as a celebrity in this token, whereas though a government official is working on behalf of the citizens. Official doesn't necessarily have the same quote unquote impact as you spoke about. The government official wouldn't have the same impact because he's not influencing and he's not partaking with the same citizens on a day-to-day basis. But that's the same partnership. That's what I'm getting at. If that might not,
I don't know. I don't say I'm not making the connection with that. Because I don't see that the same way. I feel like when you're sitting there saying we've been treated so bad, we've been treated less than human, but compared to asking your wife to do the dishes for one night, I don't see that as the same thing. I don't see that the same. Now maybe if you was in an abusive relationship and then you're like, wow, like treat me like a human being, and it's like, well, at that point, if you were asking your partner to treat you like a human being, you probably shouldn't be in that relationship in the first place. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't be trying to make it with a person who treats you as less than a human, and then you're asking them for equality. That's not a healthy relationship. That sounds like an abusive relationship. I don't see that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like if you was,
I get what you're saying, but I get what you said. You said anytime we're asking for somebody, that means you said anytime that we're asking for somebody for something, that means that basically they are our superior. And so what I'm saying is,
I guess I could have explained that a little bit better as far as saying that word. I think you took that like very literal, but I'm speaking in context of asking for equality, asking to be treated better, asking to be treated like a human. Like, you know what I'm saying? Asking like to be accommodated, like as if you can't do it yourself, like that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I will never see freedom unless I break through the white glass ceiling. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that there's actually, that ceiling is not real, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of niggas think that they can't seek salvation until white people let them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that shit comes, that's how it sounds to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what, I mean, I'm just saying, like, because who are we talking to when we're asking for equality? That means that, so you won't ever forget your salvation until the white person says, all right, I'll treat you equal. Why we gotta wait for that? That's all I'm saying. We ain't gotta wait for shit. We ain't gotta wait a second for them niggas. We can do what the fuck we want to do.
And that's true. But it's just the process of shit we've been, I don't know.
I think both of y'all are right, man. I feel like there's a process to this, right? Because if you don't recognize it, if you don't state it, if you don't keep it in people's minds that we are not treated equal, then what do you know, what your whole, I'm gonna put my head down and do what I can do and do everything I could do to make it better. That shit ain't gonna fix the whole race. It might help you, but I feel like it's acknowledgement.
I mean, I think if the race is on the same page, I think we would be fine.
I feel like it's acknowledgement first, and then I feel like it's action afterwards. And I feel like it's a repetition. In my job, we always say continuous improvement or continuous monitoring. I feel like it's a continuous aspect. We need to keep addressing it. We need to keep stating it that it is an imbalance, but we also need to show action. I feel like both of y'all are right. I feel like the two things that we're talking about need to consistently be done.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Martin Luther King is weak because he asked for equality. But I do feel like it should have been some more action behind it. So yeah, I feel like I don't know. I always say Martin Luther King mixed with Malcolm X is a hell of a combination. And if they were working together before all of that shit happened, you know what I'm saying?
They didn't get a chance to.
I feel like that would have been even more powerful.
They getting a chance to once Martin started talking about the war in Vietnam. That's
Don't fake on MLK though. They said he had the guns in the church, dog, in the basement of the church. He was ready.
When he starts.
All right, so
issue.
But what about, all right, so are we, as far as inequality, right? Like, does anybody know what percentage of the country that we make as Black people, like the percentage of our population, the percentage of the country as far as any, you know what I'm saying? Like how many,
Black people,
I think that's bullshit. The percentage.
I'm asking. I don't know, but what do you? All right. So what is not bullshit then, Corey?
I don't know. What I wanted to say is I don't know. I don't know.
I get a number. All I got is that's bullshit.
Listen,
I didn't even get like a number. All I got is that's bullshit. See?
So I was gonna say like maybe
30%. But this is what I'm gonna say. Listen, Linda. I think it's bullshit because we're supposed to be the minority or whatever, but you go to they want to talk economics and shit, but we're spending billions, trillions or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you have millions of Black people in jail and shit. It's like, I don't know. I think the numbers are skewed. I think the numbers are fucked up just because they want us to think that we're a minority, just because they want us to continue to think that we're a minority. I honestly think that we are a majority, or if not a majority, at least 50-50. 50-50 with the white folks. At least 50-50 with the white folks.
All right, but you still ain't giving me
I said
30%. Like, are we 45%? 55?
I said 30. I said like.
I'll take 45.
So you think I
would take 45.
Not even, bro. We ain't even 20%.
Yeah, it's
okay,
17%.
All right, but even within that same context,
14 at the max.
right? So as far as inequality, what about the other minorities? How are they dealing with this inequality? The other minorities, the Spanish people, the Asian people, the Indian people, all these other minority, Africans, Nigerians, all these people who come from Ethiopians. How are they dealing with this inequality, and where are their voices at dealing with this?
They come over here with.
But I will say this: when I go to downtown Silver Spring, I see them fighting their inequality right there when I go to downtown Silver Spring and I see all the motherfucking Ethiopian niggas flourishing down there. Like that's why you don't hear them niggas saying shit, because they actually working together and developing a community that benefits their people.
That's true though.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I think the number.
Where's the agent? I see Chinatown. Oh look, there's a
Yeah, I was about to say
Chinatown.
Asians do that same thing.
The
Yeah.
numbers are skewed.
All right, but we're not the only minorities in this country. Where's the what I'm saying? What are they doing about their inequality?
The numbers are lying. What they say? They say
Nothing.
men lie, women lie.
I get you saying in there. This numbers is lying, and I'm not even talking about numbers. I'm just asking like how are they fighting their inequality? That got nothing to do
They
with
staying
it.
low key. They staying out of the limelight. They not in the middle of the shit. For real. I feel like they come over here and try to handle their
They getting
business.
to work.
Yeah,
Because
they
they come
come
over
over and handle
here
their
with a
business.
whole different mind frame. They come
They
over here
getting to
with
work
a
and their
whole
feelings, and
different
not all
mind
up in their
frame.
feelings. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing their thing.
We gotta say,
But to that point, they're still looked at as second class citizens.
And
So who? They
And
don't give a
that's true,
fuck.
too.
And they don't give a fuck.
So
though.
who?
They don't give a fuck though about looking at
How the
being
fucking
looked at
Chinese are?
second-class
Man,
citizens.
them
They're doing
niggas got
their
the
thing.
Great Wall of China. Them niggas got a great history, man. Them niggas don't give a fuck about no white man. The fuck?
Exactly. Exactly.
You think they don't?
They don't give a fuck.
You
They don't give a
think they
fuck.
don't?